Growing up, was difficult at times, because we sometimes struggled financially. And my dad, it was up to him to raise us by himself. What I admire the most about my dad is he really persevered and pushed, through life and through obstacles. He really doesn't give up, and he always reminds us that what he does, it's, to keep us moving forward. After school, I would spend hours in the library studying. I didn't have internet at home. I had to go over to the McDonald's and finish up some homework. And I remember, looking up and seeing this poster in the lobby. It was about the HACER scholarship. So I applied. At first I felt, what are the odds? But then I remember my dad always saying, you have to push through. You have to have hope.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. Bienvenido, my people. What's up, y'all? Welcome. Technical difficulties, but isn't that the way it's been? Welcome to the HACER workshop series. So excited to have you here. All right. Educators, there are no students here, no parents. This is strictly for the teachers. All right. We have an amazing chat available. So if you haven't logged in yet, please, by all means, jump in there and start hitting the chat. This is part of the workshop series. We have tons of programming that's going to be happening in the next 2 months, all for the HACER scholarship. All right. We have uh, tons of speakers, tons of programming. It's going to be phenomenal. Now, what I want you to remember right now is that we want you to have fun. We want you to have a good time. Today, we're going to talk about talk about how we can get students to apply for the HACER scholarship so that they can get an opportunity to win $500,000. And we're going to give you some tips and tools on how to be able to survive this transition from being virtual to in person. And we've got some prizes. All right. We've got $25 arch cards. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Are you back, Natty?
Mic
No.
check.
Oh, there
One,
you
two.
go.
Can you hear
Girl,
me?
I was doing my best Natty impression. I was doing my best, right? But I don't have that beautiful
You
hair,
don't have
and I
me.
definitely don't have those amazing earrings, right? But I was trying my darndest.
You
So
know what?
Natty, welcome back. The
Thank
technical
you.
difficulties, it is what it is, but I will bow out because you are the host with the most, and
See,
you are the person that they want to hear. Yeah.
educators, I am so sorry. I don't know what happened, but this, we got to keep rolling in this virtual world. Let's start this thing over. Can you hear me? Throw it in the chat because I'm watching the chat. Natalia, thank you for interpreting. Now, here comes the energy. Educators, welcome to the virtual workshop series, part of the 2021 McDonald's I Said Education Tour. We are so excited you joined us today. I'm your host, Natasha Carrizosa, aka Natty. Natty, what is the plan for the workshop? I don't know if you got to it, but I am going to say it again and again. We will talk. Yes, we will. We will have fun. We want to help get you and your students excited and empowered about what's going to happen when they graduate high school. What happens after graduation? Give you some advice for college, navigating the application process. We want you to engage in the chat like you're doing. We want you to keep engaging in the chat. I see you, Texas, Pennsylvania, New Jersey. Q and I are going to have a Q&A later. And we got some prize giveaways on behalf of McDonald's. Natty, what kind of prizes they got? Well, let me tell you. They got $25 McDonald's Arch cards. You know you can buy yourself lunch, get your fellow educator lunch, Happy Meals for everybody, friend. We got McDonald's merch packs, McDonald's swag bags. We have, oh, this is the best part. I think the whole series, the whole workshop series is going to be great. But in this session, live at the end, we are going to announce not one, not two, but three grand prize winners. $500. $500 live at the end of this session. Arch card winners are going to learn via text. We want you to have fun. Natty, how do I enter? There's two ways to enter. You can see that on the bottom. It says text I said more to 866-213-5881. Text I said more to 866-213-5881. And then, I know you got a phone. You see that QR code? Put your phone up to the QR code. It's going to send you to the link. You fill in the blanks and you're entered to win. Good luck, everybody. Calm down, Natty. Y'all see me sweating? Well, did I say we want you to join the conversation? Hashtag post and use I said more. If you see something you like, if you want to tell all your friends, your educator friends, about what's going on, hashtag I said more. Well, I think it's time. And I want you to give some excitement, show some love in the chat, snaps, claps, because I have somebody who you have never seen before in your life. Just pretend you have not seen this person before. You've never seen this person in your life. This person is the CEO, and CEO stands for cool, exceptional, outstanding. He is I said more personified. Father, friend, educator, stage and crowd lighter upper. Y'all, please give me some snaps, claps, and show some love for Carlos Ojeda Jr.
Thank you, Natty. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've never been here before. I've never seen any of you people. All right. Welcome to the workshop series specifically for educators. This is specifically for you. I'm so excited. My name, you heard Natty, but let me reintroduce myself. My name is Carlos Alberto Ojeda Torres Rivera de Jesus Jr. All right. But don't worry about that. You can call me Chu, because that's what my friends and family call me. And I'm super excited to be here because I have a soft spot for teachers, for educators, for counselors, for gear up coordinators, for trio program directors. I have a soft spot for the guidance counselors, for the English teachers, for the science teachers. I have a soft spot for individuals just like you, because individuals just like you are the reason that I am here, a part of this amazing program, why I have the privilege to speak to you. See, before I wore the cool hat and before I knew really cool people like Natty, before I got to work with a wonderful organization like McDonald's and be a part of the Asset Scholarship, before all of that, I grew up in Newark, New Jersey, right? I grew up in Newark, New Jersey, right across the street from literally right across the river from New York City. But when I was a kid, you couldn't tell me that because I thought I lived in Puerto Rico. Everybody in my neighborhood was Puerto Rican. They looked like me. They dressed like me. Look at me. I ran them streets. Yeah, don't get it twisted. You know you like the black socks and the black chucks. I was gangster before gangster was a thing. I was just a kid from the barrio, first generation born on this wonderful soil. And as I went through school, my parents decided to move from the New York City area, and they moved me all the way to a place called Reading, Pennsylvania. All right, there was horses and buggies on the way to Reading, Pennsylvania, and it was a difficult transition, and it was really, really hard. But teachers made the difference. Individuals just like you. But it didn't start out that way. See, I had to find you. I didn't know where you were at. I knew you were out there, but what I ran into wasn't necessarily that. When I first got to Reading, Pennsylvania, they put me in bilingual. All right. Now, bilingual back in the day isn't the way bilingual is now. Bilingual back in the day, they put everybody that didn't speak the language in a room together. So it was me, a kid from Korea, a kid from Jamaica. It was all these different people. And I don't know if you realize that when you put all those people in a room together, we don't learn English. We learn how to curse each other out in each other's languages. I didn't belong there. I spoke English and Spanish, read English and Spanish, dreamed in English and Spanish. But someone looked at me, judged me, and labeled me and put me there. So my father came to school, talked to my teachers, made them give me a test to get me out of bilingual because he knew my dad didn't know much, but he was like, "Yo sé que él no debe de estar ahí. I know he doesn't belong there." So give him the test, and they did. And you know what? I aced it. I aced it. Man, I speak Spanish. I dream Spanish. Man, I even speak French now. Je parle le français très bien. J'ai étudié le français pour 6 ans. Voulez-vous coucher? I know that song. So they apologized to my dad. But see, in my mind, I was looking at these teachers and they labeled me. And in my mind, they didn't like me. And so by the time I got to 10th grade, I was always getting in trouble. Always getting in trouble because if school didn't like me, then I didn't like school. And if school didn't believe in me, then why should I believe in school? See, I hadn't found you yet. I hadn't found educators like you that are willing to hop on a webinar after work or in the middle of your school day. People that are dedicated to kids, I hadn't found that. I found the opposite. I found my 10th grade geometry teacher who called me the greatest piece of garbage he'd ever seen in his life. And that was my favorite class. I found teachers that told me that I would never amount to anything. I found teachers that told me that I would either die or drop out, but I would never hold a diploma in this hand. And you know what? I believed them. Because when someone tells you a lie enough times, you start to believe it's true. So I did just enough work to get by, just enough work to get to my senior year because my dad said if I failed out, he would kill me. So I stayed in school. And then I met you, or someone like you. 12th grade, I walked into the guidance office. I wanted to give a poem I'd written to a girl, and I met this crazy Puerto Rican lady. She was crazy. And she looked at me and she's like, "You're going to go to college." And I laughed at her. I laughed at her. I looked at her. I was like, "You're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about." But this lady wouldn't quit. Everywhere I went, she was there. Everywhere I went, she called my mom at home and spoke to her in Spanish, talking to her about college. The first person to ever even talk to my mother about that concept. She called my father at work, interrupted him during his lunch hour, talking to him about college, that we had to go to a college fair. And my mom came over, "Vamos para la feria, we're going to this fair." She thought there were rides and we were going to buy tickets, but she didn't care because she said this lady said we had to go. And we went. This amazing lady started changing our lives. And I thought she was crazy. But she was amazing. She told me that I wasn't garbage. She told me that I wasn't stupid. She told me she told me that not only was I allowed to dream, but I was allowed to make those dreams a reality. You know how powerful those words are? You know how much weight those words carry? You know what kind of impact those words had on me? The type of dream that a young me could create when I'm allowed to let my creativity flow and to imagine all the things I could be. But this lady, she didn't do it alone. This lady started getting other teachers involved. Mrs. Fuchs in the talent search program, who would track me down everywhere I was in school, making sure that I was where I needed to be, doing what I needed to do. Mr. Campbell, I was kicked out of geometry by that 10th grade geometry teacher. Mr. Campbell would take his breaks and his lunch and his homeroom, and he would tutor me so that I could take the test. He got me through geometry, got me through algebra. That man did everything for me. Mr. Davies, who would allow me to come back and complete experiments, teach me about science. Mr. Flannery, who taught me poetry. showed me the beauty of words. Teachers like you, she introduced me to so many of them, and they started working with me. And suddenly, college didn't seem like something imaginary. It didn't seem like words on a brochure, a place that I would never find. Nah, it started to feel like destiny. So this Puerto Rican lady, looked at me and she's like, "Do you want to come visit my school?" And I was like, "Definitely. Free day out of school, all I can eat lunch buffet, and I get to hang out with you. Darn straight, I'm going." I made a special mixtape for the trip, mixtape of music from the 70s and 80s and 90s, and I was jamming all the way up. We went 4 hours into the middle of nowhere. I saw more trees than I've ever seen before in my life. I saw rabbits. I saw chipmunks. I saw deer. I, th- I thought I was in Bambi Part 2, Puerto Rican in the woods. This place was crazy, but it was beautiful. And she took me on a tour of the campus. And then they took us into a room where they were going to start talking about the school and doing the university presentations, right? And I sat in the back. All the smart kids, they sat up front. I sat in the back with my headphones on, listening to my music because I grew up in the golden era of hip hop. Biggie Smalls, Tupac, that was my time. And I was jamming, listening to my music, having a good time when the lady walked in and she talked to all the kids in the front. And then she looked in the back and she saw me. Other teachers, not like you, not teachers like you, not educators like you, not individuals like you. Other individuals might have just walked by. Other individuals, not like you, would have just kept going, started the presentation, would have ignored the kid in the back with the headset. But not individuals like you, not like this crazy Puerto Rican lady. She walked all the way to the back to come and talk to me. See, that's the difference maker. Individuals like you can't walk by. You can't turn a blind eye. You walk right up to those kids, right on the fringes. You bring them back into the fold. She walks up to me and she's like, "Do you want to go to school here?" And I go, "Yes, definitely." And she says, "Well, you need to take the SAT." Now, what I didn't know then and I know now, and I want to share with each and every one of you, is this. I am deaf. I'm hearing impaired. I only have 5% of my hearing. I have to wear 4 hearing aids that are connected together and connected to my phone so that I can hear. Without them, I can't hear a thing, which is great when your wife is yelling at you. You'll be like, "Sorry, baby, I got technical difficulties. You're going to have to come back later." But it's not cool when I'm a kid. And everybody wants to label me a problem. Behavior problem, attitude problem, this problem, that problem. Every problem they could come up with, except for the one that I had, a hearing problem. I went undiagnosed until I was 23 years old. And at 23, they told me that I only have 47% of my hearing, meaning that half of my life went unheard, half of my life went unresponded to. Half the "I love you" my mom said to me, I never even heard. But this lady, she didn't care about that. She looked at me and she's like, "You need to take the SAT." I didn't even hear the T. All I heard was SA. I was like, "I'm not writing no essay." And she started laughing. She's like, "You really are dumb, but we're going to fix you." And she would not be deterred. She kept introducing me to teachers. Mrs. Wright, who taught me how to cook in home economics. Mrs. Simsick, who would allow me to take my reading test auditory. She would allow me to do it face to face because when she would say the words in class and I didn't hear, she would say them again face to face so that I can pass my test. These people worked hard to help me, look out after me. And the lady made me take the SAT. She paid for me to take them. And when I took the test, I thought I failed it. I didn't want to open up the letter, but the lady called me. She's like, you need to open the letter. And I did. I was told that I was garbage, that I would never amount to anything, that I could either die or drop out, but I would never hold a diploma in this hand. But the first time I took the SATs, I scored an 1100 out of 1600. That meant that I could go to any college. That meant that I could go to school. That meant that I could be something, that my dreams could be real. Que yo podía hacer more. I could do more. Lo podía hacer. I could do it. That lady made me fill out applications to every school imaginable. And then she came to my house months later and asked me where I wanted to go to school. And there was no question in my mind. I'm going to your school, miss. You believed in me. And now it's my turn to believe in you. That lady reached into her briefcase and gave me a full tuition scholarship to her school. And on graduation night, I wore a cap and gown. And when they called my name, Carlos Ojeda Jr., I ran on that stage. And as I got closer and closer to the podium, I started thinking about that teacher. The one that told me that I would either die or drop out, but I would never, ever, ever hold a diploma in this hand. And you know what? She was absolutely right. Because I'm left-handed and I grabbed it with this hand. And the moment I grabbed that diploma, my family, mi mamá, mi papá, mis primos, all my family, they were screaming my name, Chuchu. And I could hear my mom at the top of her lungs, mi Chuchito. I ran into the audience looking for them. First person I heard was my mom. Chuchu. She hugged me. And then the crowd parted and I saw something I had never seen before in my life. I saw my father crying. He never cried. Never. But there he was. Tears in his eyes, and before I could say anything, he gripped me up almost violently, like he didn't know how to hug somebody. And my mom took a picture of it because she said this was the moment that changed my family forever. And she was right. My dad looked at me and said, "Tú eres mi hijo, el hijo de Carlos Ojeda. You can be whatever you want to be, go wherever you want to go, do whatever you want to do, as long as you choose to." And then he said, "Vete, go. Chase your dreams, mijo." It's individuals like you that made that moment a reality. It's individuals like you that made this old man's dreams a reality. It is individuals like you that go in, day out, that took on a pandemic and kept working with students virtually, that are managing this transition. It's people like you that make all the difference in the world. Because that crazy Puerto Rican lady is just like you, and I have to thank you from the bottom of my heart, on behalf of McDonald's, on Cool Speak, on every student that you touch, whose lives you change. Thank you. Because you are dream makers, and you make it a reality. I took that scholarship. I became the first person in my family's history to go to college. Graduated with honors. Got my first job, paid me more per hour than my mother and father ever got paid combined in their life. To help them buy our first house. We made it a home. And I realized in order to rise up, I had to wise up, so I went back to school. I got my master's by the time I was 23. I got an MBA with a focus of business development, entrepreneurship, and organizational behavior. By the time I was 25, I was the youngest and only Latino professor in the history of my university. Left to become a motivational speaker. I started my first business at 25, my second at 27, my third at 30. Started Cool Speak 10 years ago with my business partner, Ernesto. We started just us two. Now we are a multi-million-dollar company. We have worked with millions of kids all across this country. We get to work with amazing organizations like McDonald's, spreading the news of a scholarship that can change lives like a scholarship changed minds. Giving tools to amazing individuals like you. Individuals like Faye Ortiz, Dr. Faye Ortiz, the crazy Puerto Rican lady that changed my life. And that's why we're here, to give you the tools you need and maybe a little pick-me-up, because maybe you don't feel so great. Maybe you don't feel appreciated. Maybe you don't feel as amazing as you are. Maybe this transition has been rough. Maybe COVID wore you out. Maybe this pandemic has been weighing heavy on you. Maybe all the tension we feel all around is slowing you down. Then let me be the first to tell you, you are amazing. You change lives. And don't take my word for it. It's not just me. You didn't just change my life. Did you see that commercial at the beginning of this session? Did you see Eric and everything he went through? Him and his father to survive, to be successful, to apply for that scholarship. He is a college student because he got this scholarship, the HACER scholarship, and it changed his life. And I got the opportunity, me and Ernesto got the opportunity to talk to him, to interview him. And we asked him, was there anyone that had ever made an impact on his life? What do you think he said? It wasn't a sports athlete. It wasn't a musician. It wasn't anybody famous. It was someone just like you, a teacher. Don't believe me? Don't take it from me. Take it from Eric himself. Check out this video. Is there an individual or individuals in your life at school, above and beyond the parents, right? We know that they're supportive and they're helping you. Was there anyone else that really push you and help you apply for the scholarship? Who was that, and how big of an impact did they have on you?
It wasn't for like this specific scholarship, but I mean, I did tell her about it afterwards. My 5th grade science teacher,
Oh, wow.
she kind of stuck with me all through high school, and I still see her when I didn't have like a set address before. And so we'd be like moving everywhere. And I said, oh gosh, you know, if McDonald's or whatever sends something in the mail, I'm not gonna get it. And so I asked her if I could use her address in Fayetteville, and she said, yeah, for sure. And so I used her address, and you know, she kind of helped me through. I met her at a very young age, and so we kind of grew up together, and I even call her Tia sometimes. Yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
so we're really close. And so
That's awesome. 5th grade teacher. Thank you. Thank you for the work that you do for Eric, for me, for all the young people. Thank you. That's why we're here. We want to give you the tools so that you can continue helping and give us, help a young person get a scholarship that may transform not only their lives, but the destiny of their families. So let's get to it, right? Let's talk about the scholarship. We're here for the scholarship, and the scholarship is the HACER National Scholarship. $500,000 for 30 students every year. All right. Latino owner operators, Hispanic owner operators from across the country make this a reality. And through this tour, I've had the privilege to meet these amazing individuals, people that started from humble beginnings, have made themselves a success, and now are giving back to the communities they came from. All right. $500,000 for 30 students. When can you start applying? Next week, October 20th, 2021, and you have all the way until February 7th of 2022 to complete the application, to get your students to complete the application. If you're looking like, where do I get the application to? I'm ready to go. Just go to mcdonalds.com/HACER. You'll find all the information you need, and you'll be able to access the application. The application is virtual, it's online. And what I really love about the platform is that you can take your time. Students can actually begin the application, save their work, and come back. So they don't have to be rushed. They can put their best foot forward by taking their time, getting all the information. All right. They can do all of that at their own pace so that they can put the best effort and make the best impression possible. No rush. All right. Really take their time and do it right. All right. So what's the breakdown? All right. What are the scholarship amounts? All right. So we have two $100,000 scholarships, two $50,000 scholarships. We have two $25,000, one $20,000 scholarship, three $10,000 scholarship, and $25,000 scholarship. Now, $500,000 is a lot of money, right? But it could go any way. But the scholarship program, they wanted to make this accessible. They want to spread that money out so it can do the most amount of good, giving all students a wonderful opportunity, 30 students this year. Now, how do they get it? Well, here are the requirements, all right? They need to be a high school senior, 2.8 GPA, younger than 21 years of age, a legal U.S. resident. They've got to be eligible to attend a 2-year, 4-year college, university, or technical school. And that's important, all right, because the scholarship money will not go to any individual. It actually goes directly to the institution that you will be attending. And it's for all 4 years. And you need one parent of Hispanic heritage, all right? Now, you're probably thinking, well, what's the criteria? What are they looking for? Well, I can tell you that not only am I a spokesperson and get to work on this tour and speak and tell people about the scholarship, I'm on the scholarship committee. I've read these applications, read some of the essays. How are winners selected? Well, we're looking at academic achievement, looking for students that are really going above and beyond, working hard, financial need, community involvement at school and also in your community, in your church, at home. We want to see you giving back to the community, not when you become successful, but do it now when it matters. And where there's a personal interview, but that happens once you are selected, right? And you move ahead in the process. Now, there is no essay, but I will tell you there are questions and personal statements that you will need to really take some time and help students put the best effort into these questions, all right? You want them to lay down their narratives, share their stories, because their stories are powerful. Look at Eric. His story was heartwarming and amazing. So there is no essay, but those questions will paint a picture of who these young people are. So they want to approach it like an essay. It's part of the reason why we have 3 amazing essay sessions that are going to be coming up in the next few weeks, so that students can really be able to share their story in an empowering way. All right. Now, we want to give you some resources. All right. If you're looking for the scholarship, you go to mcdonalds.com/HACER. But here are a couple other resources. FAFSA, obviously. You all know this. If you're in education, you know that FAFSA is important. And now is the time. My son is a senior. We've already done the FAFSA. First come, first serve. So we want to remind you to remind parents and remind students that now is the time to fill out that FAFSA form. The Hispanic Scholarship Fund is a wonderful clearinghouse of scholarships from all over the country for Hispanic students, right? So you don't have to necessarily go all over the internet and scour. It's all in one place. Big Future and CAPEX are amazing programs that help your student find what they're interested in, help find their majors. It also helps to fit their majors with the schools that they might be able to go to, and makes the connection and works it through. And of course, you can go to coolspeak.com. All right. We have tons of resources that we put there all the time. All right. Now, some more resources that I want to share. If there are other scholarships that McDonald's offers, for instance, the McDonald's Black and Positively Golden Scholarship for African American students. And for our Asian and Pacific Islander brothers and sisters, we got the McDonald's API Scholarship. You can get those right there. In the URLs. And there's also Archways for Opportunity, which if a student is working at McDonald's or a parent or is working at McDonald's, there are tons of resources for them, but they also offer tuition support for those students, helping them bridge the gap towards college and success. All right. So those are just some of the resources that we wanted to provide for you. Now, I want to provide some tips and tools because I know it's hard. We've been traveling the country, working with students and working with schools, and we know that right now the transition has been rough. And you're probably thinking, oh, how do I get students back into this? How do I get students this post-COVID era, right? Even though we're still in it, but we're back in school. How do I get students motivated, interested, in moving forward? And you're probably asking yourself, how do I help my students? Well, you're right. It's not over. Returning to school was just the beginning. You're going to have to help them heal. There's any amount of trauma that they went through over the last 2 years of school, the difficulties with school, and there's layers to it. And not only do you have to be an educator, a teacher, but you have to be a healer, giving them space to heal, space to safe spaces to talk, to brave spaces to really be themselves. You have to help them heal. Creating moments where they can talk about their frustrations, their difficulties, their fears. It's been rough for me and my family as my son has had to figure out, do I even want to go to college? Or what kind of college do I want to go to? Or what I want to be when I grow up? I don't know. 2 years of my life feels like it was frozen. I have to give him time and space to talk about that, to work his way through. You've got to help your students heal. You also have to help your students remember. They got to remember what it's like to be in school. They've been at home for 2 years. There's an uptick in disturbances and even violence in schools, and they're wondering why. It's because they've been at home for 2 years. Look, it is really hard. We all know this. It is hard to create good habits. It's really easy to break them. So they've been away for 2 years on their own, making their own rules. It's been like the Lord of the Flies out there. And now they got to come back to school. We got to help them remember the norms and remember, and more important, help them remember why it's important to go to school, why it's important to go after the scholarship, the purpose, the why, their family, success, to change their community. We have to help them remember. We also have to help them remember how to find their discipline, because successfully getting this scholarship is about discipline. Anyone can start the application. It takes discipline to complete it. So you got to help them. In those moments when they're weak, you've got to be there for them. You've got to support them. You've got to be that discipline. You've got to be that crazy Puerto Rican lady. You've got to be Mrs. Fuchs. You've got to be Mr. Davies, Mr. Flannery. You've got to be these amazing teachers. You just got to be you. Be there for them. Help them teach them the discipline, support them. And you got to help them how to hope and dream. Because for a while, I think we all forgot that. Help them dream. And not only help them dream, but tell them that they can make it a reality. Now, how do you do this? How do we make this work? Man, teamwork makes the dream work. All right? You got to crowdsource this. You got to get other students to have them work together. One of the coolest things that we did over the summer is that we had a moment virtually where we helped students crowdsource this process, where they were looking at schools together, looking at scholarships together, and then sharing that information. We've done it before the pandemic face-to-face, and it's awesome. We literally had a student, hey, man, I'm on the phone with this university. Who wants to talk to them too? And they were just working together. So why not get your students to work together? I know there's only 30, but you know what? It doesn't have to be so competitive, right? We can work together, because success is about a community, not just one individual. So you work them together. You can create accountability partners where you pair students up and it's like, I got your back and you got mine. I'll keep you right on the path, and you make sure that my eye is on the prize. You do that, and students can help each other complete the applications. All right. Got to get parents involved. How do I do that? Number one, get parents to our parent session. We have a parent session this evening, 10 o'clock Eastern. All right. Tell them to hop on. We're going to give them the resources, but you want parents to get on board, because you can check them while they're in school, but the parents are going to check them when they're at home. So you want to definitely get parents involved. You want to get educators and mentors together, working together. It takes a village, all right, to raise a child, right? It takes everyone in the school to get them to college. So you got to work together. Now, that's what you do to help students. But my bigger question is, what are you doing to help yourself? If I were to ask you to list the top 3 things that you love, the top 3 things that are most important to you, the top 3 things you care most about, you probably be like me. Maybe definitely family, definitely my job and what I do working with kids, food. I love food. We have an intimate relationship. But you know what? Regardless of your top 3, I'm going to tell you that we're probably going to miss something unbelievably important. You. Would you even make your top 3? Would you put yourself in the top 3 to love yourself, to take care of yourself? No. How far down the list would I have to go before you would put yourself on the list? Would it be top 5, top 10, top 20? What would you do? See, the question is, how do we help our students, but how do you help yourself? How do you help find some peace? Well, here's some really quick tips. You got to plan. Manage the stress. Stress is going to be there. There's always something to do, but you've got to plan. Every Sunday, I plan my week. Every morning, I plan my day. I list the things I got to do and how I got to get them done. I have a notepad next to my bed, because I know you have had these nights where you're sitting there thinking, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that, and you can't sleep. I write it down. I put it on a piece of paper, and that lets me know that tomorrow I will tackle this first. But right now, I need my sleep. So you got to plan so that you can mitigate that stress. You got to engage the important things in life, the things that matter to you. If you love cooking, then you got to cook. All right. You love dancing, you got to go dancing. You love spending time with family, you got to do that. You like one of those weird people that like to take runs at 6 a.m, then you go run, you crazy person. But you got to engage the important things in your life and not neglect them. Family, friends, career. Yeah, you got to find what's important and engage it. And you got to align yourself, mind, body, and soul. You got to take care of yourself. All right. You gotta do the spirituality thing. You got to make sure that you are exercising and living that good life. You need to connect, make connections with students because they will fill you with love. They will fill you with hope. You got to connect with family and friends and make connections, plan to make connections every day. And you got to experience. If you've learned anything from the last 2 years, the pandemic, that we got to live our best life. Shoulda, woulda, coulda can't exist, y'all. I know you're teachers. I know you're sacrificing yourself for these kids, but you got to live your life. I'll give you, for instance, a couple weeks ago, I got to take my kids to their first concert. We went to go see Maroon 5. All of the kids and my wife. You had to be vaccinated to attend. It was amazing. We had a blast. This Saturday, I took my daughter rock climbing. It gave me a freaking heart attack, but it filled me up with pride. This Sunday, for my daughter's birthday, we had a karaoke dance party, and my entire family sang. Even my mother was singing Mark Anthony, right? You got to build those experiences because that's what life is all about. And if you take care of yourself, you'll be able to take care of those kids. And when you take care of those kids, you got to take care of yourself because you're amazing. And we need you here. We need more fifth grade teachers like the one that helped Eric. We need more crazy Puerto Rican ladies like the one that helped me. We need more people like you that are hopping on a webinar to learn how to help their kids because you make the difference. You, I said more. You do more for your students, and we thank you. Natty, you got a teacher story? I know you're out there. I know you hear me.
First,
teacher
wait a
change your
minute.
life?
Listen, I'm like, my face was in the screen. That was amazing. Thank you for that information for the scholarship, the HACER scholarship, and thank you for sharing all of those tips. I wrote down, I will take care of myself. And you were like, Natty, I was like, yes. Teacher story, kindergarten, Coach Searles. He had like 5,000 keys on his key ring. He wore white tennis shoes, starched jeans, but he was the first person that gave me a microphone. I was 5 years old in pre-kindergarten, and I never forgot him. Little Natty out there, ladies and gentlemen. But I will never forget Coach Searles, and we Facebook friends to this day.
Oh, that's awesome.
So many teachers, so many stories, just like them out there. Just like them out there. Thank you, educators, for being here. I think, Chu, you think we got time to do a little Q&A? Maybe somebody threw something in the chat, want to ask us some questions. Maybe we can like just have some fun with everybody.
Definitely, Natty, definitely.
Oh, look at that. They already got questions coming in.
Who can attend the essay writing session? Anybody. It could be a student. It could be a parent. It could be a staff member that wants to learn. It could be English teacher. In fact, I recommend English teachers attend because Joaquin and you, Natty, you're going to be hosting, but you and Joaquin are going to have an amazing time at the essay writing assignment because you're going to teach techniques that they will be able to borrow. Some would say steal, but I say borrow, right? They'll be able to do that in the classrooms with other students. So students definitely have to attend. Staff and parents who want to help their students write those essay questions, or in the case of Acel, be able to answer the questions on the application and put the best narrative, the best story, the best representation of themselves out. Because sometimes it comes easy to some people, like you, Natty. Natty's going to be not humble, but she is an amazing writer, author, and poet. So she is chef's kiss when it comes to words and language. But it's not necessarily the easiest thing for all of us. But Joaquin's going to give you, and you're going to be working with them, you guys are going to work these amazing techniques to help students find their message, find their story, and put it on paper. So everybody can attend. So everybody should attend.
Right. Exactly what you said. John, write this down. There's 3 essay writing workshops: October the 25th, November the 4th, January the 20th. They're different times, so make sure you check the website, okay? But most of the time
Yeah,
around,
October 25th. It's on Eastern, 7 o'clock Eastern.
right.
For the November 4th, we're at 7 p.m. Central, right? So we're hitting the central part. And in January, we're going to the West Coast, baby, because it's cold out here on the East. We're going out west to the Pacific, so it'll be 7 Pacific. But yeah, everybody should attend. All right, we
Everybody.
got some questions in the chat, Natty. We got some questions in the chat. Oh, explain FAFSA to parents as well as the importance. Okay, so FAFSA. This is I didn't see all the question, but I saw FAFSA, and that's the most important. FAFSA stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. All right, so basically, every October, if your student is going to go to college, you want to go to FAFSA. To the website, we gave the links on there. You want to go there and you want to fill it out. All you need is your taxes, fill it out, but that is free financial aid. It can be grants, it can be scholarships. A lot of universities are going to look at. So it's one of the first things you have to do. And I'll be honest, I forgot. I should have done it the 1st of October. It took me like a week or so, and I was like, oh crap, I got to do it, right? But the free application, if you want to get federal student aid, you want to get work study, you want to get financial aid, you have to fill out the FAFSA. It is unbelievably important that you do that. And we gave you the link and in the resources so that you can definitely try that out. We got a question on the chat, Natty. Can I take a look at it?
Well, it's going to come in, but I need to know. Somebody put
Yeah.
in the chat. Did Sandra make it in the workshop? I hope Sandra made it. Sandra, I hope you made it, friend. I kept seeing in the chat. It was like, I'm trying to get in.
Yeah,
Next
she was having some difficulty, right? I think she could hear us. She just couldn't see us. Right?
Well, y'all
There's
could
the
see
link.
me, but couldn't hear me.
Boom. There. Thank you. They just put the resources in the chat. Definitely want to click and use them. All right. Ooh, let me see. Can my student win multiple scholarships, like I said, and other ones? Yes. Yes, yes,
Absolutely.
yes. You want to fill out as many applications to financial aid as possible. You can only win one unsaid scholarship, but you can win, some other scholarships out there, right? You want to look. I think the average kind of floats from year to year, but it says you have to apply like 72 to 75 applications to get one scholarship on average. Obviously, there are certain students that get more or less. I know of people that have so much scholarship money that they actually get refund checks back, Natty, that they can then
What?
give to their families to help support
Serious?
them. Yeah, if you put in the work. So if your student is on it and it's you as an educator and you as a parent are on it, you can really fill out as many applications as possible, get as many scholarships. A lot of scholarship, Natty, they don't even get claims. Students don't apply. They actually sometimes have to pull back the money because they had nobody apply. So apply, apply, apply.
And finish, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
Complete the process. Oh, we
Yes.
got another one. Helen
What if
says,
I only have one parent of Hispanic background? You're still good. For the ASED scholarship, you just need one parent of Hispanic background to be eligible for the scholarship. That's all. Now, if you have two, that doesn't mean you have extra chances to win. That just means you got a little more rhythm, all right,
you got a little
a little more beautiful culture, but you still have the same opportunity to possibly win the scholarship. So if you have one, submit the application, go to mcdonalds.com/ACEL and do it. And the other thing, we have a parent program, bring parents to that. And next week, we're going to do the student event. So keep coming to those events, keep getting these resources.
this Aseta tour is amazing. There is so much going on. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Oh, I'm excited. Is that
Maddie,
it for
this
the
has been amazing. I mean, there was some technical difficulties at first, but I already forgot about that because it's been so amazing. The energy in the chat has been awesome, right? I'm
right?
super excited, right? Is there something exciting that we can end this
Well,
amazing day with?
I think that's gonna be it for the session. He's like, the educator's like, oh no, Natty. Oh no. We
Oh, you know
oh,
what?
what is
They
that?
just threw something up to remind me. Every one of you, please take a moment and go over here and go to
Over
this
there?
URL and fill out an evaluation for us. Let us know how we did and how we can improve. All right. All you got to do, just a few questions. Go to clspk.com/I said one. All right. Just make sure you do that and answer the questions. But Natty, I know the
Yes.
evaluation is at the end. Natty, that is
Yeah.
not the end.
No, no, you know what? Evaluations are great, but I think it is time to announce some prizes. It's time to announce some prizes. Okay, remember for the Arch Card winners, you're going to make sure you're checking your phone. You're going to get your winning notification via text. Okay? But now, to announce the grand prize winners. The first grand prize winner of the $500 gift card is Renee Waddell from Grable, Wyoming. Yay! Y'all applaud Renee. Congratulations, Renee. All right, our second winner. Ready for our second grand prize winner? It goes to Karina Gonzalez from San Antonio, Texas. Congratulations, Karina. Oh, my heart is beating fast. And the third and final grand prize winner of $500 in gift cards goes to Maribel Castañeda of Donna, Texas. Congratulations, congratulations to all of the winners. Congratulations to the grand prize winners, the Arch Card winners, the McDonald's merch winners. Congratulations. Hashtag I said more. Chew, can you come back up here? Because I want to make sure I get this right. This is the end of this session. And thank you, educators, for coming and being here. Please, please spread the word. If you know an educator, a parent, a student that could benefit from this, spread the word. Send out emails, text messages, whatever you got to do, bring them because we want to see them. Now, Chew, I want to make sure I get this right. Before we go, we got to talk about these upcoming workshops. So we have a parent workshop tonight. Oh, there they go. Parent workshop tonight, 7 p.m. Pacific. Everybody take a camera out, take a screenshot of it, take a picture, do whatever you got to do because here's the lineup.
On the
Parent
third, it's in Spanish, Natty. So on the third,
Ooh,
it's in Spanish, which is phenomenal. All right.
I see that. That is so necessary. Student workshops. We mentioned those earlier. October, no, we didn't. We did the essay writing was October 21st, 1 p.m. Pacific, November the 16th, 1 p.m. Eastern, January 19th, 1 p.m. Eastern. And the next educator workshop, where it's going to be tons of educators, is going to be November the 3rd at 1 p.m. Eastern. And those essay writing workshops, October the 25th, 7 p.m. Eastern, November the 4th, 7 p.m. Central, make a note, and then January the 20th, 7 p.m. Pacific. So we got you covered. Make sure you come back.
And you know what, Natty? I'm just throwing a hint out to the educators. If you didn't win today, there's no harm coming back on November 3rd. I'm just saying, there's no harm. Try and try again. We're always teaching our kids about resiliency and persistence. Persistence beats resistance. So come on back. Come on back and bring some friends.
Please come back. That's what they're doing on TikTok. Please spin back. We want you to spin back. We want you to come back. We hope you enjoyed it. Hashtag I said more. I think that's it, you. What do you think?
I think that's it. I'm super excited. This is the start. This is the season. The season of I said more. The I said scholarship. More prizes. More motivation. More inspiration. And more amazing individuals like the educators that we're on today. So thank you all on behalf of McDonald's. Thank you for being here. On behalf of Cool Speak, I thank you. Keep doing what you're doing. We love you. Peace.